Check, check. One, two, one, two. You're not the keynote speaker anymore?
Not today.
Not today. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. Or we could just.
Maybe just that.
Hi, Andy. Good to see you, Andre.
Last minute notes on someone.
Why not? She's doing Yeah, no problem. Disclaimer. I don't want we'd like to congratulate in this year. Blanking on the names. Yeah, I know. you as well if you need it.
Great.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
No, it's on. It's on.
Good afternoon, everyone. There's a lot of echo. I don't know if you can hear me in the back. All right. Good afternoon. You can hear? Okay. See if we can get the volume up a little bit. It's better now. All right. Take your seats. We're about to get started. Thank you for being here. This is a wonderful view always from where I'm standing. All right. Thank you. So again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Andre Ritter, and I'm Dean here at the UW School of Dentistry. What a great pleasure it is for me to welcome you all here today. As you all know, we're here to celebrate our annual white coat ceremony for the class of 2028. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to begin our event today with our land acknowledgement. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. I am very glad that we all could be here today, our students, your families, and friends, alumni, and members of our faculty and staff. I would like to thank the Dental Alumni Association, represented here today by Dr. Mark Rangel, who will speak a little later, for supporting this ceremony. The Dental Alumni Association pays for the clinical codes that we'll present today and donates over $60,000 every year in student scholarships for our students. So thank you, Dental Alumni Association. I also wanted to thank Washington Dentist Insurance Agency and Nakanishi Dental Laboratory for their support. I also wanted to thank the International College of Dentists and the American College of Dentists for their financial support and for providing the ethics handbooks that each student will receive today. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to the Washington State Dental Association for providing the hangers, personalized hangers, for the first time ever. So that's something new for our white coat ceremony. So thank you, that's right. But not only that, the WSDA provides support for our school in so many ways. And I wanted to recognize Dr. Brittany Dean, who's here as President-elect of the Washington State Dental Association. Welcome, Brittany. More importantly, she's a UW grad, so that should be noted as well. Students of the class of 2028, this ceremony marks one of the most important moments in your pre-doctoral education. This is the point where your training becomes increasingly focused on clinical dentistry and patient care. It is an exciting step for you as you take on the responsibility of providing comprehensive, coordinated care to our community, to our patients. This also squarely aligns with and supports our school's mission of advancing oral health for all. You may also feel a little bit nervous about this moment, and that is to be expected. That's totally normal. I can recall myself feeling a little bit nervous when I was transitioning into patient care when I was in dental school just a few years ago. And that feeling of being anxious can be even helpful because it will remind you that this is an extremely serious responsibility and you can never afford to take it lightly. You're going to be treating patients. Your patients will entrust you with their oral health, and as you know, this will have major consequences for their overall health. Of course, you will have our expert faculty to guide you as you perform multiple types of procedures. But this is where you must refine and advance the clinical and ethical habits of a skilled doctor. You must approach every day with the attitude that the responsibility for your patient's welfare rests on your shoulders, not anyone else's. At the end of the ceremony today, you will take a pledge to pursue excellence and act ethically. These words are important, but your actions will be even more critical. You will live these words, you will walk the walk. You will have many challenging decisions to make as you focus on clinical care, and you must put in the time and effort to give every patient the best possible treatment. Our students have always responded to these challenges, and I know that you will do so as well. So now let's all enjoy the excitement that this day brings, and we will all look forward to the great satisfaction I know you will find in clinical practice over the next 2 years and in all the years after that. Would you please join me in again congratulating our class of 2028. Today, we are privileged to have some of our distinguished faculty with us. I will now ask them to stand and remain standing as I call their names. Please hold your applause for them until the end. Dr. Yan-Wei Chen, Dr. Wasum Chung, Dr. Sue Caldwell, Dr. David Dean, Dr. Mark Reinhold, Dr. Natasha Flake, Dr. Andy Marashi, Dr. Sangeeta Neduchelian, Dr. James Newman, Dr. Catherine Rafferty, Dr. Doug Ramsey, Dr. Cameron Randall, Dr. Shanila Riang-Sperry, Dr. Alizera Sadr, Dr. Sadr, Dr. Yun Saxena, Dr. Stuart Taylor. You may be seated. Thank you. I now turn the microphone over to Dr. Mark Reinhold, who is here today, and as I mentioned before, is representing the UW Dental Alumni Association. Dr. Reinhold, please.
Students, family, friends, and colleagues, good afternoon. I'm here today both as a faculty member and also as the past president of the UW Dental Alumni Association. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our association. A group has over 800 members, and we have about 25% of all of our graduates, which is one of the highest rates in the university. Our powerful association works together with many others to raise money to support the school, and recently made an ambitious goal of raising over $45 million in the most recent campaign. We, the alumni, help with many aspects of dental school life, including donating over $40,000 per year in student scholarships, putting on programs to find practice opportunities, and funding events like this, the White Coat Ceremony. I believe I can speak for all the alumni who want every student to have a great experience and to learn to their full potential, and for every student to become an outstanding dentist and orofacial clinician. And we hope you will all remember us and join us after you graduate. 44 years ago, in 1982, I was in your shoes. I was 24, but I looked like I was 13. I'd spent 4 years in college, 2 years in dental school, reading books, listening to lectures, and taking many tests. I drilled on hundreds and hundreds of plastic teeth in a fake mouth called a dentiform on a pole in the basement of the dental school. And I knew I could generally cut a cavity preparation, as the manual showed, especially when that dentiform and the tooth was wide open on the desktop. But I knew that wasn't real life. And that was a problem. I was both scared and excited. In a week, I'd have the privilege of doing the same microsurgical procedures on a living, breathing human who had been hopefully numbed up by me. Those teeth would be in a mouth, which was dark, wet, and moving, connected to a person with pain receptors, anxious feelings, and a brain. Could I do it? What would I say to the patient if they asked me, have you ever done a dental filling like this? When you hadn't done it. After watching 40 years of classes of dental students go through the same thing, I can confidently tell you, you can do it. And you will do it well. All of your preclinical training will provide you with more confidence and skill than you realize. And all of the faculty, staff, and students are fully committed to assisting you in these early clinical encounters. Over the years of the ceremonies, I've thought of what advice I'd give to someone just starting out as a young dentist. Then over these past few years, I thought, since it's been over 40 years since I graduated, I thought, what would I say to my 24-year-old self back in 1982? I thought I could borrow the DeLorean time machine from Marty McFly and Doc Brown from the movie Back to the Future. I'd set the time to August 29th, 1982, location Kane Hall, Seattle. The first thing I need to do is to introduce myself to my likely very startled earlier self and tell him I wanted to help him not make the same mistakes I made in the previous 40 years. And so that he could have a better life. But when I thought this through, I realized that my earlier self may not be very receptive to this advice, even coming from my older self. I was a very good student and at times overconfident, probably even, you could say, cocky at age 24. So this is my first piece of advice for my 24-year-old self, and all of you, listen and respect your elders. We may not know the latest TikTok video, but we've revolved around the earth a significantly greater number of times than you, and we'll likely be able to give you some good advice. Back in 1982, oral surgeon Tom Holt told me a few months later in the oral surgery clinic that my primary job was to act as a human sponge and soak up as much knowledge and training as possible, and that is something I strove to do, and that was one of the many pieces of advice that many of the faculty gave to me, which I did heed. The second thing I would tell myself is that I'd be heading into a period of life where I'd be rapidly learning the greatest number of new concepts, information, and procedures in my entire life. So enjoy this rapid learning. It's truly a remarkable part of your life. Back then, I would be graduating less than 22 months later, just like you, and I would have become proficient in many aspects of being a dentist. However, to this day, I'm still learning. My clinical practice in oral medicine is quite a bit different than it is today than it was 4 years ago, and I'm constantly learning and updating what I do. Innovations are quickening across healthcare. Your education here is just the start of your life as a doctor. The third thing I would tell myself is a quote from Thomas Jefferson's 10 Rules of Living. How much pain they have cost us, the evils which never happened. How much pain they have cost us, the evils which have never happened. So over the last 40 years, I've had countless instances of unnecessary worry and realized that many, if not most of those worries were needless. Learning to be resilient and managing the challenges of life well and not let them take away the everyday wonder and happiness of living is an essential skill to live your best life. Learn to extinguish the what if the night before you embark on a new big procedure for a patient. Get a great night of sleep and be comforted by all your hard work and your excellent preparation and training. Lastly, as I look back over the last 40 years at the University of Washington, I feel extremely lucky to have trained and now trained others at the UW, and believe you will all become outstanding clinicians with the commensurate hard work and listening to your faculty and others. With that, I wish you all the best of luck on your dental careers and look forward to working with you side by side in the clinic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dranchel. Very inspiring words. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, selected by our students, Dr. David Dean. Not done yet. The introduction is quite a bit more longer, so it's a little longer. David Dean is an associate professor on the tenure track at UW and the director of the Oral Medicine Service at Fred Hutch Cancer Center. A lifelong Husky, Dr. Dean completed his BS in 2006, DDS in 2010, and MSD in oral medicine in 2014, all at UW. He is board certified in oral medicine, a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh, a fellow in the American College of Dentists, and a Seattle Med Magazine top dentist in oral medicine each year since 2017. That's impressive. Dr. Dean has been a faculty member in the Department of Oral Medicine since 2014. His teaching work focuses primarily on the medical management of the dental patient through work as a thread champion and key member of the Biomedical Foundation's curriculum, where he directs the blood autoimmunity and neoplasia course in the first year. He has also been very involved in graduate education, including service as the Oral Medicine Graduate Program Director between 2016 and 2022. In 2016, Dr. Dean received the Bruce Rothwell Distinguished Teaching Award, one of our schools, or the highest teaching honor of the UW School of Dentistry. And he was also selected as a commencement speaker in that same year. He currently serves as a director for the American Board of Oral Medicine and the vice chair of the Oral Care Study Group for the Multinational Association of Supportive Care in Cancer. In June, he received these associations' Outstanding Study Group Leadership Award, along with Group Chair Sharon Ellett. And next fall, he will receive the American Academy of Oral Medicine's prestigious Hirschfuss Memorial Award for meritorious service at the joint AAOM-EAOM meeting in Rhodes, Greece. Dr. Dean's scholarly activities include an NIDCR-funded R01 assessing long-term oral health impacts of chronic graft versus host disease, clinical research on the oral microbiome's effect on post-transplant outcomes, participation in the 7th World Workshop for Oral Medicine in Gothenburg, Sweden, as an assistant reviewer and as a section head for the upcoming 10th WWOM meeting in Recife, Brazil. And I'm not done yet. He is a contributing author for the Lillo and Fallacies Dental Management of the Medically Compromised Patient, an invited editor for Frontiers in Oral Health, Oral Complications in Cancer Patients, which is an international collaboration with nearly 200,000 online views, and a contributor on expert panels, clinical practice statements, and upcoming clinical guidelines, primarily through his work with MASCC ISOO. David lives in Edmonds, Washington, with his wife, Dr. Brittany Dean, a pediatric dentist, UW SOD grad, and again, president-elect of the Washington State Dental Association. They have a dog called Remy, who I'm told is not a husky, but is a very cute French bulldog. He enjoys live music, husky football, collecting books, and lifting heavy things. Welcome, Dr. D.
Well, it's kind of embarrassing to hear those things read out loud in front of this large a group of people. So let me start off just with a massive congratulations to the class of 2028. Thank you so much for having me. I am incredibly honored, and I am more than a little surprised that you would choose me to give your keynote. I am a proud UW SOD graduate, but I haven't done a crown prep in 14 years, and so I'm a bit of an unconventional choice. So first off, just thank you all, so much. I am a really big fan of the white coat ceremony, and while I understand why some professional schools will do this right away, I like it that it takes some time before you receive the white coats here at UW. It means that we have watched you learn and grow over these 2 years, and I love that today we get the chance not only to celebrate with you, but to physically show that you've earned it and that you're ready. You might not feel that fully sitting here today, but we do. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is David Dean, and I had the immense pleasure of meeting this wonderful group about halfway through their first year in their Biomedical Foundations curriculum. If you're here today, it means that you know and love at least one person, in this group. You know that they are incredibly smart. You have at least some idea of how hard they worked to get here, but I just wanted to give a little bit of what happens, before they meet me. They have delved into anatomy and physiology and complex, scientific coursework, and I'm sure you all crushed it. They are spending time in lab every day, paying their dues and working on their hand skills, which though while very, very challenging, at least gets all of these budding dentists closer to teeth. They finish a packed final exam schedule at the end of autumn quarter. They get a well-earned but way too short holiday break. And before the college football playoff is even over, they walk into my classroom and I get to throw them a curveball. Before they have really picked up a handpiece or placed a suture or even reviewed a medication list in detail with a real person, I ask them to dive into the deep end and spend 4 hours every afternoon working through complex clinical decision-making on cases based on real-life patients who are going through oral and hematologic cancers, head and neck radiation, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and autoimmune disease. This can be a very hard turn into clinical thinking for some classes. There isn't always a right answer, much less one right answer. And during a time where they're still learning the language of dentistry, it can be a really difficult thing. But the class of 2028 did not struggle with this at all. They have been thinking like clinicians from the very beginning, and that's why I think it's especially cool to be able to be here and recognize them here today. To the class of 2028, you are intelligent, you are insightful, you're hardworking, you're humble, and you're compassionate. You are here because you have everything that you need to be an amazing doctor. And I am so happy to be able to recognize all of that with you today. This transition can be a little intimidating, but you have everything you need to succeed, and I cannot wait to work with you over these next 2 years to watch the final steps of you getting there. I don't remember too much about my white coat ceremony, but I do have an awesome picture. It's about 30 seconds before the program was about to start, and I have my arm around the empty chair sitting next to me where my chronically late roommate was supposed to be sitting. He somehow burst through the door, he got his coat on time, and he's gone on to a successful career in the Air Force, so he has never been late another day in his life. I remember being happy. I remember taking pictures with my classmates and with my family. I have a few of those in my office that I still see every day. But I also remember that I was nervous about what was coming next. I've shared with some of you before how much I struggled in the first 2 years here at UW. And though I don't see him here today, I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank Dr. Sammy Dogan for spending every Friday evening in autumn quarter of 2026, staying in D1 with me for hours after my classmates had gone home, just so that I could continue to battle a single tooth wax up. I swear to God, I still see those teeth in my dreams. Sorry, guys, I completely lost my train of thought at telling that story about Sammy. I did well in my academic classes, but to me, that just felt like I was in college. I didn't feel like I was progressing, and I would watch my classmates while they were gaining confidence, and I just felt lost. The white coat ceremony was a transition and a complete paradigm shift. With rotations in urgent care and in oral medicine in particular, I finally started to feel like I was a doctor. There were days where I would go home feeling energized, and excited, and I finally knew that I was in the right place. Now, that being said, I also don't want to give myself too much credit. While I like to think that I look professional, in the new white coat, it wasn't a magic, item. You don't change overnight. 17 years after turning in the photographs for my ortho composite, I can still hear Dr. Greenlee asking if I took the pictures out of the window of a moving car. And even 13 years into my time as full-time faculty, I still laugh nervously whenever faculty from pros or endo tell me that they remember me from clinic. And two of them are sitting right in front of me. Most of you will also have humbling experiences like this in clinic. They're normal, they're part of the process. But you will also start to collect more and more experiences that give you confidence. They're going to come in different forms for each and every one of you, but I would encourage you to recognize them and remember them. Use them as motivation to get better, and use them for reassurance when things are tough. A big one for me was literally the last session of third year. I was in D3. I was working with Dr. Steve Albright that day. If you haven't met Dr. Albright, he is a wonderful guy. He had been my clinical faculty in restorative almost every quarter for the entire year. So let's just say he had seen the full range of my operative efforts throughout the year. It was the last session that I was feeling pretty good. I thought that it had gone pretty well that day. But while we were finishing up, he asked if he could see me after the session. Now, he was a very fair guy, but he could be really tough. So I was nervous. So I dismissed my patient, I turned in my cassette, and I came back. To my surprise, he complimented me. He said that he knew that I was worried and that I was frustrated that my hand skills weren't coming along as quickly as I would have liked, but that over the next 5 years, I would do hundreds or maybe thousands of preps, and the skills that I was agonizing over were soon going to be second nature. That is good advice, really good advice, and I would give it to each and every one of you as you move into this next stage. But that's not why I remember the conversation. He told me that throughout the year, he had been impressed with the relationships that I had made with patients, that we could establish rapport quickly, and that I could help people feel comfortable even during a marathon two-surface composite. He said that making people feel cared for was a much harder skill to teach, and that was something that would keep people coming back to see me throughout my career. And that advice changed my entire professional life. Around this same time, coincidentally, I also met my wife, who is also a proud UW graduate. While I was preparing for this talk, she gave me some advice that I really wish I also would have heard as a third year. She said that when you do something well in dental school, you assume that it's easy for everyone. But when something is really difficult, you think you're the only person who's struggling. You give yourself less credit for the things that you may be naturally gifted at, while beating yourself up over things that are probably tough for most people. Pay attention to the things that you do well and are naturally gifted at. Give yourself grace when things, are tough, and everything, will continue to progress day to day. I'd like to close by finishing with just 3 pieces, of advice, from one, former Husky, to all of you, as current, Huskies. Actively prepare for each session and each interaction that you'll have over these next 2 years. This did not click for me when I was a dental student. I think that I was just so focused on what was right in front of every day, trying to keep my head above water, that I just was never thinking, about it. But every interaction that you have with a patient, every procedure that you do, every consultation you have with a classmate, or a faculty member, every success and every mistake is a chance for you to grow and get better. Preparation is a tangible way for you to show your patients how much you care about them. And it is a way to help establish trust, which is really the most important thing that you can ever get from a patient. Preparation beforehand will make you feel confident so that you can go into a procedure feeling good. It will help you adapt in the moment when things need to change, which happens all the time in dentistry. And it will also, once you've established that foundation, help you to learn exponentially faster on the clinic floor. Similarly, learn from the wisdom of others. I was very lucky. I had a built-in mentor, in dentistry. My dad, who is here today, his name's Bob Dean, class of 1980 here at UW. He has given me a lot of good advice, and I've learned a ton from him because he's my dad. But one of the best things that he ever taught me was that if I wanted to do something well, or if I wanted to do something well, I should seek out somebody who was already successful, in that area. That is a way, that is a way to learn and to learn faster, and a way to meet other people who can help you to succeed. He excelled here at UW. He was one of those people who was just born to be a dentist. But during his early years of clinical practice, the other dentists in his building would joke that he wore out the carpet walking across from his office to their office, asking them questions multiple times every day. He didn't care. He loved it. It was exciting. He was learning. And all of those people that he built those relationships with helped to sustain him all throughout his career and into retirement. You all are, whether you know it or not, you're building all of your professional relationships right now. The people here, in your class, the people are your big sibs, the classes, who you are helping to mentor coming up behind you, residents, the faculty that you work with all the time. Think about the things that they do. Think about the things that you admire, in the people that you are around. Tell them about it. It will help you to recognize ways in which you want to grow and progress, and it'll also help you to form a group of people who really want to help you get there. And lastly, if I can find where I am, because I am all over the map. Oh yeah. Lastly, be patient. It can take a long time to find your place in dentistry. I had absolutely no concept of this when I was in dental school. I just figured when we graduated, we would all be dentists and it would just sort of take care of itself. And while it's true that we are all dentists, there are so many ways to find fulfillment in this sort of career. When you have those days in clinic where you have a win, remember it. Don't just move on. School is going to throw 10,000 things at you every day. In clinic, it just moves faster, but I want you to stop and I want you to think, why on that day did I go home feeling energized? Why on that day am I excited even though I was still there, for 6 hours? What made that day different? Recognize those things and learn more about them. Whether you were in the zone during a complex procedure, or you connected, with a patient with something beyond, just the surgery that you were performing. Whether it was the way you asked a question to help lead to a challenging diagnosis, or helping somebody through the barriers, to access care, or dedicating your time in service. It could be anything. Those things that resonate with you, those things that speak to you as a person, are also things that can help to make you an outstanding dentist. Recognize them, spend time, cultivating them. Those are probably areas where you are uniquely gifted. You're obviously at a stage where you're still learning everything, and you should be. But when you are able to combine your unique gifts, your personality, and your interests, with particular areas in this field, that's where you can find a way to be truly, truly special. The first time we met, I thanked you all in advance for the care that you would provide to your patients in the future. And on a more personal note, I thanked you for the care that you would provide for mine. I still mean that very, very much. All of you are outstanding people. All of you have everything you need to be great dentists. We need each and every one of you. And you will all be incredible additions to the profession. With that, congratulations on reaching this outstanding milestone. Working with patients is the absolute best, and I hope that your white coat is a perfect fit. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dean. Well, after all that, I think nobody here is surprised that Dr. Dean was selected by the class for a speaker today. So thank you again for that wonderful presentation. And now, the white coat ceremony, the reason why we're all here. Dr. Kari and Dr. Satter, please prepare to assist and the presentation of the coats. Dr. Rafferty and Dr. Chen, please take your place as the honorary marshals for today's event. Dr. Newman will witness the signing of the pledge, and Dr. Randall will have the honor of introducing our students.
Thank you, Dean Ritter, and congratulations, class of 2028. It is a joy to be a part of this important milestone in your professional journey. I am so proud of you, and on behalf of the rest of the faculty, we are so proud of you. As I read your name, please come forward to receive your coat. Krishna Alahari. Falguni Amin. Jaskaran Atwal. Carter Bushman. Edward Chen. Ryan Chen. Neha Chabra. Riley Sisney. Caitlin Copson. Dolmaz Dodport. Tin Doe. Swati Dogne. Jolene Fessenden. Paulo Fiqueira. Rihanna Garawal. Mace Hadi. Jessen Harbertson. Sarah Hong. Jack Humble. Sarita Jaisingani. Sally Jung. Shirley Jaw. Akila Devi Kaprapodi. Kijin Kang. Prabjot Kaur. Alexis Kim. Na Pa Kaya. Tejasri Kondasani. Anna Marie Larson. Megan Lau. Alexander Duck Lay. Patrick Lee. Irene Lee. Nicole Lee. Brooke Leland. Garrett Lloyd. Monique Loza. Sunny Maharjan. Quentin Mai. Carter Martinez. Zoe McAllister. Deshae McNeil. Davis Mihalik. Rain Men. Shaima Mir. Ahya Misrabi. Saba Mansouri. Mariam Nawaz. Micah Ng. Han Nguyen. Blake Oliva. Hirak Patel. Mansi Patel. Sahiti Patrilapati. Christopher Penner. Jeremy Percival. Gabriela Pinto. Awesome Quasim. Tina Rajabi. B. Run. Asia Richardson. Paris Sabarin. Madeline Sargent. Pooja Shettigar. Ramanpreet Singh. Simrandeep Singh. Congrats. Jane Kim Super. Shriti Srinath. Kate Streck. Vander Swenson. Aya Taji. Alex Tomchak. Joshua Trotto. Joshua is not able to be with us today, but we would like to congratulate Josh. Christine May Tron. Shraddha Unithan. Ashley Wong. Jituen Yang. Saad Ahmed Yusufi. Xingna Yu. Saad Zafar Rana. Phoebe Wahua Zhang. Anna Zhou. This concludes the presentation of coats to the class of 2028. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Dr. Randall, for presenting the names of the students, and congratulations, everyone. I especially like the enthusiasm. I want to hear it once again for a class of... And I can't wait to hear what you sound like in 2 years' time when this class is graduating, so please come back for that. I now ask the president of the class of 2028, Christopher Penner, to come forward and lead the class in the student pledge.
Thank you, Dr. Ritter. And thank you to all the faculty and the staff that are out here with us tonight, I guess this evening. We are so grateful for everything that you've done for us these past couple of years, the countless hours you've spent with us in lab and in the classroom and in student services. We are very grateful, so thank you. And to all the families and the friends and the loved ones out here, thank you for coming out. We could not have been the people we are today if it weren't for each and every one of you in this room. So thank you for showing your support and being with here to celebrate this special day with all of us. Woo! Yeah. And then to our classmates. First off, congratulations to all of you guys, and it has been such a pleasure to get to know you all these past couple of years, make friendships and memories that last a lifetime, and I'm beyond excited for these next couple of years until graduation. So with that, if I can have the whole class of 2028 please stand so we can recite the pledge together. We commit ourselves to the continual pursuit of excellence in all our academic and professional endeavors. We hereby pledge to conduct ourselves with integrity by upholding and promoting ethical ideals and standards. Demonstrate compassion, empathy, and understanding for patients and colleagues. Aspire to leadership through initiative and professional conduct. Maintain a high level of competence through our commitment to learning. Today, we make a lifelong commitment to enhancing professionalism within the practice of dentistry and the entire healthcare system. As students and as dentists, we promise to these principles and dedicate ourselves to the profession. Thank you all, and congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. On behalf of the School of Dentistry faculty and the staff, I congratulate our student dentists as they join the community of clinical providers. I also put forth a challenge to continue to seek knowledge, to serve all in our community, and to convey the compassion necessary to become the outstanding dentist we know you will be. I would like again to extend special thanks to the UW Dental Alumni Association for their generosity in sponsoring the reception and for providing the students with their white coats. I also wanted to thank the team in our Student Success Office that made this event possible. And I'll mention them by name: Carol Harvey, who's always behind the scenes. Also Kayla Fensel. Claudia Venezuela, who's not here today, but she is part of the team as well, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Sperry, Assistant Dean, and Vice Dean, Dr. Saxena. So thank you all for all you've done. Family and friends, please stay seated while our students exit for a group photograph. After the students have exited, please join us in the lobby for refreshments. Thank you so much for coming and for being a part of this special day. Class of 2028, please exit to the front of Kane Hall for a group photo. Thank you, everyone. Of course, yeah, good job. Thank you. We can now leave to enjoy the refreshments in the lobby. Thank you all.
That's amazing. We'll show
To make eye contact. You've done well to have trained us. It looks like you were stunned.
That's a good